Welcome in the field. I'm Brad Hare, Southern Farmer Farm Progress Companies. I'm here today in Manchester, Tennessee at the Mid-Tennessee Grain Conference. So is Larry Steckel. He is the weed specialist with the University of Tennessee Extension. Hey Larry.
Hey.
Thanks for meeting with
Yeah,
me today,
good to see
man.
you this morning.
It's a cold day, but I think we'll be all right.
Very cold, yeah.
We were talking a little bit earlier, and you were talking, you had a big turnout here at your presentation. There was probably 250 people in that room, at least 300. And talk a little bit about, you mentioned that we might have finally reached critical mass when it came to realization with herbicide resistance threats in Tennessee when it comes to weeds. Can you tell me a little bit about your thoughts on that?
Yeah, really I think it's kind of turning into a little better story than what we've had in the past. Really from 2008 to really 2011, it got worse every year.
Yeah.
I've got more calls about fields that got just growed up messes and you know, having to disc them down and replant, that kind of stuff, and just visually driving through the state, just more weeds in a lot of fields. But for the first time in 2012, we kind of checked that up. We weren't really losing. We were kind of holding our own. We got better weed control, and in a year and in a spring when it was just very hard to get any pre's activated. So to me, that's a real good story, and I think the reason for it really is we don't really have any new tools, but I think of it as just a lot of mindset difference from a lot of our growers. Just really going after it, not cutting corners, you know, using an early burn down, stacking another one in right behind the planter, then coming in with another one on top of it, and using sequential residual type products, hoping to get one or two of them activated. And then they were doing that. Now, it didn't come cheap.
Sure, no.
And it didn't come easy.
What are prices you think now? What's it running to kind of control these weeds now compared to what it used to be? You think a few years ago or 10 years ago?
Oh yeah. Well, it's about doubled. You know, in soybeans, when Roundup was just, you know, controlling everything at any height, you know, you're maybe $20 to $30. Now we're up 60, 70, 80. That's in soybeans, and in cotton we're up over 100.
That's
now.
Just not sustainable.
It's not. It's scary. Yeah. That is. Yeah.
What were some of the problems coming? What did you see the weeds? I know mare's tail has been a big problem for a while. When did the glyphosate pigweed really get on the radar up here in Tennessee?
Well, we found it about a year after Stanley Culpepper and company did down in Georgia. We found it about a year later, but they had it rolling, I think, a couple years ahead of us. About 2006 it started being evident, but 2008 we started losing fields.
Gotcha. Big
fields, and it got worse from there.
I gotcha. Well, you mentioned, and great idea for the 2012. It was a good story. They're getting ahead of the things now, but you got to do it every year. We're looking at 2013 right now. What should they do to try to keep that mindset to go back in? I guess use the term battle again for 2013, because they're still out there. They're not going anywhere, that these weeds are. So what's the good advice? What's a good way to start 2013 off for Tennessee farmers?
Well, I think a lot of them, we had a lot of corn going to the ground. We had almost 1 million acres of corn last year. And that was good on the front end for fighting pigweeds, but we had a lot of these, when we harvested our corn in August, we had a lot of pigweed break late after that and produce a lot of seed. So don't get caught flat-footed and think just because you rotated the corn last year, you're not going to have a big weed problem in your soybeans or your cotton this year. Go at it just like you did last year. You know, using sequential applications of residual products. If you got irrigation, my gosh, cut it on and get those pre's activated. And then, I mean, it's kind of a way of life now, but chopping crews, getting them out there, and that was one of the differences really this last year, is folks got their chopping crews out earlier. And I think that helped too.
All right, Larry Steckel, he is the weed specialist with the University of Tennessee Extension. Again, Brad Hare, Southern Farmer Farm Progress Companies. And yes, he does look like White Earth. I know you were thinking the same thing. And until next time, take care, give thanks, and good luck.
Thanks. Thank you.